Hi everyone, this is Gloria with stampwithgloria.com. Our new catalog is being rolled out and we have a very wonderful, fantastic new product, which I'm not going to demo today. They're called Blendabilities. They're like the Copic markers. We kind of take the stress out of what kind of markers should match or go with each other because we sell them in sets of 3s. So it's a light, medium, and dark set of markers to coloring cards. But for my stamp club this month, I wanted to show that you can still get a really great look with our markers, and I'm going to show you a couple of different techniques to do that. I have a lighter cardstock that I stamped on and that we're going to color in the flower to see what it looks like. And then I've got the darker cardstock that we're going to fill in and see what it looks like. Got a couple of tips. And this is just so you can extend the life of your markers. And I also will be putting out some videos on the blendabilities in the next couple of weeks. But sometimes when a new product comes out, the old products get lost in the shuffle, and I wanted to show you that you can get some really different, really cool results with both products. So let's get started. We're going to start with the light one first. And what I did is I took 3 different colored markers. We've got Perfect Plum and Wisteria and Eggplant Envy. Okay, so I always go from light to dark because I just feel better doing that. And I'm going to color in the light every other, maybe not every other, just whatever I think needs to be colored in. And I do take the image and I flip it around. It's just easier for me to color that way. And I'm going to fill in all the light spaces here. There's a leaf here that's kind of flipped. So it's just one of those things you just kind of have to work around. Then we're going to go to the darker color. Let's pull that in. And there is no science to this. There's no method to the madness, I guess is what I want to try to say. You just put the color in wherever you think you need it. And I'm going to show you how to do the highlights in just a second. Okay, and then we're going to go with the darker color. And at any time, I can change my mind about how I want to color this in. Like I said, there is no method to the madness, and we are going quite dark on everything. I'm just coloring it solid right into the flower. Good. Put some here and here. Gives you that definition. Okay. Then see, these are flipped up. These little, well, actually not this one. Let's see. Let's go with this color here, the medium color. This little guy right here. Yeah, we're going to tuck that in. Okay, then we're going to use 2 colors, Old Olive, Old Olive and Pistachio for the greens. So we're going to do the lighter green here and here. I'm going to fill it in with the Old Olive just to give it a little something, something. Okay, so it gives that little definition there. And then I'm going to use 2 kinds of oranges. Whoop, there we go. Oh, you want to know what color it is, I bet. There is Pumpkin Pie and Cajun Craze. And I'm just going to color in the bottom part of the middle of the flower just to give it some depth and definition. Oh, oops, I forgot that right there. Let's go with that light color again. Boop, there you go. Okay, make sure there are some lights and dark spots in there, and that's okay. Not to worry about it. So now we've got the flipped up part. I always kind of work on the flipped up part first, and I'm going to just make that a little whiter. The part of the flower that flipped over, I'm going to make a little bit whiter, and I'm going to leave that white there. Just going to go around with the Signo Glow pen. And we're just outlining it, nothing else, just outlining it to give it some definition, okay? Just giving it a little oomph. There you go. and this leaf is on top of the other leaf. We'll give that a little bit of definition, and then I pull it down into the stem, and there you go. I always do like to make a little highlight, so I'm going to use Soft Sky for that. I'm going to start on the half, like in the middle of the flower. We're going to go around and then pull that shadow down. Okay, so there's our flower on light colored paper, but how do you make a flower on dark? Well, before I go to the dark one, let me show you the finished product. Here's the finished product. I sponged around the very vanilla cardstock. I did use a folder for the Eggplant Envy. I use our crocheted tape, or ribbon, which is now discontinued. Oh, a little tip I should give you about this Baker's Twine. We have silver and gold, and the thing about it is it does ravel off. So when you're doing a project, the easiest thing is right on the card, go ahead, make a knot in the end of the twine here, and then cut off what you need, then make another knot on the other side. Make your ties, and then if you don't want the knot, just cut it off. That way everything stays put and it looks great and it's not unraveling all the time. That can be just a little bit frustrating. So here we go, the two cards together and what it looks like when it's all finished. Now let's go to the dark card. All right, so we've got our dark card here. Now how do you color on the dark? It's actually kind of fun. We're going to take 3 different blues again. I've already sponged crumb cake around the edge of this flower. And this time we are going to use a blender pen, looks like this. Okay, and we're going to use our blue colors. Okay, we're going to start out with Pacific Point. I'm always pulling the wrong ends off of this. This is just a case that we store stamps in. It's plastic. It's easy for me to color on it with the markers, or you can color the inside and then shut it. It doesn't keep the ink wet any longer, but you know, some people think it does. In my case, I have not experienced that, so I just do the top and then just take a wipe and wipe it off when I'm all done. I'm putting the color on so I can use the blender pen. Now, it's a little bit different technique than the other one. So on this technique, we're going to start from the middle and work our way out. So we're going to start with the pumpkin pie first, and we're going to color that in, just right on that dark cardstock. And then we're going to tuck in some Cajun Craze. Okay, so now you've got the middle of that. Now, what do we need to come out to make this flower look more exciting? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pick up the blender pen. We're going to go from dark to light, because when a flower opens up, the middle is the darkest, right? So we're going to pick up the darkest blue, and we're going to take the blender pen, and we're just going to color it in. So we're coloring it in, and don't worry about this flipped side of this leaf here this time. Then we're just going to kind of take and run circles to soften the edges a little bit. And the blender pen, you know that you can just pull the color out onto your paper until it's running clear, and then you can use it for the next color. Okay, so it's almost clear there. There we go. And I'm going to pick up the medium color and we're going to color that in. Okay, so color, color, color. And you don't have to be perfect on this, just whatever you want to do. So we're pulling it in. Woohoo! Good job. All right, now I want to soften those edges again. So we're going to pull some of the darker color into the medium color. We're going to soften it and blend it just a little bit more. Okay. All right. Now the light color is so light, it really doesn't have to be blended with the blender pen. So I'm just going to take, and in circles, I am going to finish out this flower with the full strength of the pen. I don't have to soften it at all with the other. I'm going to use Pistachio again and Old Olive again. The cool thing about these two cards is I did incorporate the same colors, so you don't have to get out different pens. Now, I like this, but I would like the middle just a smidge darker. So I'm going to pick up that color again, go right over the top, tuck in some darker color to just make it pop just a little bit more. Okay, so there's the popping going on. Going to use the Signo pen again. We're going to outline this flower. Whoop. Whoop. Doesn't want to cooperate. There we go. You know, the Signo pens you should store upside down so that it's really a paint pen is what it is. So when the paint when it's lying flat, it gets thick, and then you've got a problem making it work. So you always want to store it upside down. Woohoo! There we go. I'm going to do a little bit in the middle, make it pop. I'm just going to do little dots here. There we go. And we finished the dark flower. So kind of cool. You can do the dark and the light. Let me show you a little tip on putting this card together then. Okay, so we've got this pretty little thing going on here. Super fast, super easy to do. Okay, so what I had done here is I used half a folder on the upper half of the card, and then I wanted to put a string through it. So what I did is I just scored 2 lines across on the bottom to make it kind of like, you know, a band, and then I wanted to tie the linen thread right through there, but you know, when you put the linen thread down and you're trying to tie and stuff, it just goes all over the place. So I wanted to tack it in place. So what I did is I folded the string in half, found the middle of it. I took our red tape, sticky tape, and I taped it down, and so it makes it just a lot easier for you to tie. Plus, with the folder, the design on here, the sticky tape helps keep the card together. Okay, that's your little tip for that. All right, I'd say I'm done. Don't forget our lovely markers because they do a great job. And these cards, like I've said before in some of my other videos, I always make the cards without the sentiment on so that I can pull it out at any time and use it for whatever occasion that I want. I hope you liked this video. More to come. Have a great stamping day.